All right. Good evening, everybody. Hey, I got great news on the Kia McGyver update. I have my car back. Can you believe this? 120,000 miles on this car. I've been working on this car for months, as you all know, all three of you, whoever's watching this video. And I actually, things were getting so intense. I'm talking about the repairs. Now, don't get me wrong, I was never down. I never could not drive the car. I could always drive it, almost always. But I'm just saying the repair situation was getting so intense that I actually just went out one night and bought one of those, I bought one of those little devices, code readers. And it was I bought the best one they had, about $175. $175. I'm working on my enunciation here, because if you're making videos, you shouldn't be lazy when you talk. You shouldn't start talking like you got a mouthful of gravel or anything like that. You should probably try to enunciate, because people from all different backgrounds and styles of speaking and whatnot, they might be listening theoretically, potentially, kind of a remote possibility when only 4 people are watching your video, but nevertheless, you never know. So, anyway, and I started because I got tired of going up to the auto parts store every time I needed to have the code read. They'll read the codes for you. It's no problem. It's easy, but nevertheless, you know, you get a very wide, you get a very diverse degree of skill when you go to the auto parts store. Some people have an extraordinary background in auto repair, and they can tell you amazing things that just blows your mind. And some people literally have no clue, you know. They barely know where the brake or the gas pedal is. So it's a very wide variance, a very, very, you know, broad variation in skill. I'm sure it's the same when you go to the mechanic, you know. You just don't know it because they're behind the scenes. But anyway, all right, so I started getting these codes, and I had like 6 codes. And some of them sounded pretty serious, like compression in cylinder 1 is too high. The thermostat code I was getting like weird, just weird codes. There was some crankshaft. I mean, just scary, weird sounding codes, you know. And honestly, I replaced the thermostat. The thermostat was destroyed. It was wrecked. How does that even happen? I have no idea. It was a brand new thermostat, but it was wrecked. I don't know what happened. By wrecked, I mean there's a seal that comes with the thermostat, and you have to install that seal, and you have to install it properly, and it is a little bit tricky, especially the first time you do it. The first time you do it, it's very tricky, because you put the seal in there, and then you put the thermostat in there. While you're putting the thermostat in there, the seal falls out. I mean, it's very tricky the first time you do it. And then you need anyway, I won't get into all that, because then you do it 2 or 3 times, because I literally replaced the thermostat, or took it out, put it back in like 3 times. Okay, so you have that seal, but the thermostat itself comes with a seal that's built into the thermostat. Okay, you can't take it out, you can't take it apart, it's just there. Well, believe it or not, the seal that was built into the thermostat popped out, and it got all tangled up in the thermostat, because the thermostat is a spring that's activated by heat and pressure. I mean, it was just, I'm like, how does this happen? This is ridiculous. I mean, I've been driving this car forever, and the thermostat has never malfunctioned, and all of a sudden, I put a new thermostat in there, and it falls apart. I mean, crazy. So I had all these crazy codes, but I replaced the thermostat yet a 4th time, and boom, all the codes went away. I mean, that's the thing about these codes. They're very subjective. Everybody thinks, oh, a computer, it's very precise. Well, yes and no. I mean, mostly no. By yes and no, I mean mostly no. I mean, because you can have one thing go wrong, like in my case, the thermostat, and then it causes all these downstream codes. And so, in reality, none of those downstream codes mean anything, but they don't come in order. So you don't know what code is causing the other codes. So it's been a really amazing experience. I mean, I'm so excited. Learning things to me is just the most it's the greatest part of living. It's just learning things. And I don't care what it is. I really don't. If it's mechanical, if it's not mechanical, I'm a software engineer. So, I mean, every day, all day long, I'm learning things, you know, so you can see that I probably really do love my job, and most of the time I do, I have to be honest with you. Anyway, there were long periods of time when I didn't like my job at all, and it made me sick to my stomach and gave me a headache and all that stuff, but that was just me sabotaging myself, I believe. I believe that now. I didn't believe it at the time, but, you know, stress creates stress, and I think I was just allowing myself to succumb and be seduced and being caught in the vortex of stress, and then it just created more stress. And you know what? You can't function in any job. It doesn't matter what job. You can't function when you're stressed. So now that I've learned to kind of calm down and just, you know, I mean, it's just been amazing, because, I mean, I wouldn't have endured all of that stress if there wasn't an underlying appreciation and enjoyment of the job. There's just no way I would have. But now that I've sort of learned to control that, or compartmentalize, or whatever the right terminology is, I have a very intense thought process about what has happened here, but I won't get into that right now, because it'll be contrary to the purpose of the video. The purpose of the video is to say, hey, the code that I got, when I looked it up online, I actually found a formal, authoritative, literal, technical, I think they call it a TDM. It's called a technical issuement document, or a TID, technical issue document, an official manufacturer TID, technical issue document. This is something that the manufacturer, who in this case is Kia or possibly Hyundai, because the engine is Hyundai, the transmission is Kia, the car is Kia, but Kia and Hyundai are like two sides of the same manufacturing plant. So all Kias have Hyundai engines, and all Hyundais have Kia transmissions. So just fascinating. I mean, the whole experience has been fascinating. So I started looking up this thing, and it said, yada, 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 when you get this code, yada, 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 could be an electrical harness connection, could be this, could be that. If it's not that or that or that, you need to replace the engine. And I was like, what? I was like, what in the heck? This is beyond what I want to do in my front yard right here. In reality, no, it's not what I want to do. Actually, I would love to replace the engine. I mean, that would be so exciting to me. I've been learning about, I've taken the thing apart so far that literally the only thing I haven't taken apart is the engine. So I don't mean the entire car. I just mean inside the engine compartment. So, and the transmission. I haven't taken the transmission or the engine apart, but everything else, all the ancillary connecting stuff. I mean, I'm totally set in my mind to grab that engine, take it out, and take it apart. I mean, I'm totally set. I have no doubt in my mind that it would be more complicated than I think it is. And so, you know, I'm realistic about it. If I took the engine out, took it apart, you know, I'd be there for a month or 2 months trying to figure out how to. So I'm aware of that. But I mean, I would enjoy it, is what I'm trying to say. I would like to do it. I'm ready to do it. But I'm also aware of the fact that it would be a big bite to bite off and start chewing on. So anyway, so point is, as soon as I got that code and I read that TID or whatever it's called, I think it's called a TID, technical issue document. As soon as I read that, I'm like, man, I got to take this down to Kia. So I take it down to Kia. Now, you got to remember, this is a car with 120,000 miles. I can drive it. I drove it to Kia. It drove perfectly. You know, I'll tell you this, when I had it at home up on the ramps, okay, it was running perfectly. But check this out. This is when I knew something was serious. When I step on the gas and accelerate to about 2,000 RPM, the whole thing started shaking. Not violently, okay, but it shouldn't be shaking at all if all you're doing is idling it in your front yard. I mean, there should be no shaking going on there. So that's when I realized, wait a minute, something serious is going on here. So I took it down to Kia. I told them the whole story. I tried not to ramble. I failed, because I always ramble. But I told them the whole story. And as soon as I said I had it up on ramps in my front yard, and when I got up to 2,000 RPM, the thing started shaking, right? As soon as I said that, boom, it was like, they were like, okay, got it. You need a new engine. I mean, they know. They do this all day long, you know, so they know. And they didn't actually say that. It's just what I felt. You know, I felt it in my spirit. It was intuitive. I just felt that that's what was going on in their mind. And so what they actually literally said was, okay, we'll take a look at it. But I could feel it, you know. About 2 days later, the lady calls me back. She's super nice. I had already rented a car, so I'm driving around. I mean, amazing experience at Enterprise. I call up Enterprise to rent a car, and the lady says, what kind of car are you looking for? I said, the cheapest you have. And she said, well, what would you like to drive? I said, well, one time I rented a convertible Mustang. That was pretty nice. And she said, well, would you like a pickup truck? I'm like, I'd love a pickup truck, you know. So they gave me a pickup truck for the cheapest price. This has just been an amazing experience, right? And so I'm driving around this pickup truck for 2 or 3 days, and the lady from Kia calls. She says, yeah, sir, we're going to replace your engine. We're going to get you a rental car. I've got the contract. I got the contract all set up for you. All you have to do is go down to Enterprise, pick it up, and you're good to go. I'm like, what the heck? This is crazy. This car has 120,000 miles on it. This car has been amazing for me. I mean, what in the world, you know? But anyway, that's what she said. I'm not going to, how do you say that? I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Is that how that saying goes, I think? You know, so I said, okay, thank you very much. I said, actually, I already have a car from Enterprise. And she said, well, just ask them if they can see the ARM system, ARM, which is like a national enterprise computer system. And if they can just transfer this contract over to your existing contract. And we won't pay for your the 3 days you've had it so far, but we will pay for everything up from this point on. So, I mean, it's just amazing, you know? So, yeah, everything worked out at Enterprise. It even worked out better than it was supposed to work out because the girl looked up the contract. She said, yeah, they're paying for everything. Don't worry about the last 3 days. And I'm just like, this is amazing. So she said it would take 30 days. It took like 2 weeks. They call me, sir, your car's ready. The new engine is installed. I mean, it's just, I'm just like stunned. I'm stunned. I don't know what, I don't know what happened. Things like this don't normally happen to me. This is like perfect. You know, what in the heck is going on? Somebody explain to me what the heck is going on here because I'm totally confused. Things like this just don't normally happen. I don't know what to say. It's just been amazing. So anyway, I got my car back. I'm really excited. I really love the truck. It was great. My next car is most definitely going to be the truck because it's great for the grandkids. Don't ask me why. They don't ride around in the back of it. I'm not trying to suggest that. But we did try that. I tried to take them in the back of the truck because we were just going across the street. Like literally, it's down in Madeira Beach. We were going across the street to the Dollar Tree because this homeless guy asked me for a light. I didn't have a light. I'm going to Dollar Tree to buy him some lighters, you know. So, and I don't really know if he was homeless. He just looked kind of homeless, but whatever. So, I was going to take him across the street, and we were parked at the Madeira Beach Municipal Center where the city hall is and everything, and the softball fields and all that stuff. And I literally pulled out of the parking lot of the municipal center, and there's like 2 cops sitting. I'm like, kids, get back in the truck. I about had a heart attack, man. I'm like, get in the truck now. So they jumped through the back window into the truck. It was hilarious. So I had such a great time with the grandkids yesterday. It was amazing. They loved looking in the water and seeing fish. And my granddaughter saw one of those. I don't know if you've ever seen those things, but they're like the ocean version of a praying mantis. I don't know how to describe it, man. If you've seen one, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, you're like, what the heck is it? What are you talking about? Anyway, that's what it is. And it was big too. It was like this big. It was black, and it swims with it looked like a cross between a praying mantis and an angel. I mean, it was just, these things are weird, man. They're very weird. Anyway, so I got a new engine in this car. I'm almost to my other grandkids' house. So I'm picking them up to take them to Airheads because he got straight A's on his report card. So I'm taking him and his friend to Airheads. So I got to run, but this whole video is just to say that I cannot believe that Kia replaced an engine in a car that had 120,000 miles on it. No questions asked. Paid for the rental car. Just unbelievable. This whole thing has been an unbelievable experience. I'm going to go home and put the brake rotors, not tonight of course, but maybe tomorrow, the brake rotors and the brake pads, and replace the brake fluid because the fluids are really important. God bless you. Thank you for watching. It's been a 15-minute video. That's really long. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Bye.